The pet battles out in Mechagon can give you some reputation, but they can also be tough without the right pets. I'm going to run through a quick guide for all the pets on Mechagon and see how much reputation can be earned with the pet quests. I'm Trellwood with Rindar Gaming, and let's go get started. Oh hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. So I've got a tune here that hasn't been out to Mechagon at all. Yes, I know, I'm slacking. I've been told several times that pet battles on both Mechagon and Nagitir make a huge difference in the reputation grind. I've only done it on one tune so far, so I haven't had the chance to actually do it multiple times. So I wanted to test out just how much reputation you can get from doing all the pet battles right away, and how much of a difference it might actually make in that reputation grind. And also give you a little Mechagon pet battle guide along the way. So to do the pet battles, you might want to bring along a few level 25 pets. So you're going to want 2 Ickies. Yes, I said 2. He's easy enough to buy a second one from the auction house. On level 25, he's on average about 20k across all the servers. So if you don't want to spend the extra gold, you quest to pick him up, and throw a blue stone on him and a level stone. Have a 25 pretty quick there. If getting a second Icky is just out of the question for you, a foul feather can be substituted, but Icky is a power speed breed and foul feather is a speed breed, so it may change the strats just a slight bit. The Chitterspine Skitterling also has Black Claw and Swarm, which is what we're after here, so these could be substituted, but again, breed as well as pet family differences might change the strats just a little bit. You will also want the Unborn Valkyr. I know this pet is a pet that a lot of people avoid because it's been traditionally very hard to get a hold of, but since the new sharding system that started in Legion, it's actually pretty easy to obtain. Before 7.0, she was super hard to find because there were 3 spawn points across every zone in Northrend and only 1 up across all of them at any given time. After the 7.0 or Legion patch, her spawn was changed to always have 1 up in every zone because of the sharding system. So now there's 3 spawn points in each of the Northrend zones, and she has a very short respawn timer. She'll always be up in one of those 3 spots across all of the zones. I'd have an upgrade stone ready for her, as most likely you're going to find her in gray quality or uncommon. Have an upgrade stone for her ready and maybe a few level stones because you'll pick her up at level 23. And pretty easy pet to obtain for the most part, and she's super unique and quite powerful. It's a really good pet to have in your arsenal for pet battles. Now you also want Bone Shard. He's a drop from Lord Magrar in Icecrown Citadel, or you can find him on the auction house. On average, he's about 17k for a level 25 on the auction house across all the realms. I found some for as low as 2k for a level 25 on a couple of servers. The Mechanical Pandarian Dragonling is another one that you're going to need. He's an engineer-made pet. Doesn't cost a whole lot to make, but can be found on the auction house for about 13k on average for a level 25. Obviously cheaper for a level 1 if you're willing to level him, if you'd rather just buy him. The Enchanted Pen is really any pet with Forbidding Curse can be substituted for the pen. I chose the pen because it's probably the easiest to get. Enchanters can make it fairly cheap. Can also be found on the auction house for about 20k for a level 25 if you're willing to spend the gold. Tinytron is also another one that you're going to need. He's another RNG drop from an old raid, Blackwing Descent. If RNG hasn't been on your side for farming these guys, or your thing just isn't farming them, he's roughly 20k on average for a level 25 on the auction house. Again, cheaper if you buy him at level 1 and level him yourself. So now, before we start on the strats for all these pets, RNG is always a factor in these battles. If your pets are not the same breed as mine, although I've tried to use pets with minimal breed variances, the strats may not always come out the same. I've also tried to use the least amount of pets and still have the best outcome for the battles. Save a little bit of time, possibly money if you're buying them. I know not everyone has the selection of pets that I do, So not all these strats are going to be the most optimal strats for these battles, but they will definitely defeat the bosses and get the job done. Also, I'm lazy, so if I can do all of the world quests without changing my battle pets out, I will. I'll link the waypoints for the pet battles for anyone using TomTom or waypoints in the description below for you. So now if you're like me and you haven't been out to Mechagon at all, make sure you finish the Mechagon quest. Otherwise, when you go to turn in the pet battle quest, the turn-in lady won't be there. So we're going to start off down at the Unit 17. We're going to put both Ickies in for this one. For all the strats that I'm going to use here, Icky will use Savage Talon, Black Claw, and Flock. This third slot here really isn't important. You shouldn't really need it. You could substitute the Zandalari here for this guy, but the mechanicals are obviously strong against the beasts, so I chose not to use them. So here, we're going to start with our first Icky. We're going to use the traditional Icky and use Black Claw, followed up with a Flock. Let the Flock do its thing here. Without the Black Claw, the Flock usually doesn't do enough damage to get through his little shield there, so we want to make sure we get that Black Claw out there. Go ahead and Flock again. Should be a pretty easy fight on this guy. You might not even need your second Icky on this fight. So my Icky dies here. I'm going to bring in my second one and use Savage Talon. You could continue with Flock, or any other pet that you've got should be able to take him out pretty easy there. Let's get done with this guy. We get a quest. So we're going to collect these quests, and that's actually where we're going to get our rep from. We're going to head off to the next guy, whose name is Gnome Feaster. Quite the name. I like that one. So you're going to want the Unborn Valkyr and 2 Ickies, in that order for this guy. You're going to want Curse of Doom and Haunt on your Unborn Valkyr on all of the fights that we're going to use her. So we're going to start off with our Unborn Valkyr, and we're going to use Curse of Doom. And Haunt. Then we're going to bring in our Icky here. We're going to use Black Claw. And Flock. Your Icky will probably die off there. If you've got a substitute pet that you're using for the second Icky, I would put him in there just to get the Black Claw off. Then Icky can use his Flock. The second Icky can use its Flock. Super easy. Next up is the CK9 micro-opression unit. I love the names of these battle pets. Here's where we're going to bring in Bone Shard and the mechanical parent Darien Dragonling. Also going to want to use one of the Ickies in this fight. This guy can be done with the Unborn Valkyr and the 2 Ickies, but it is a very RNG dependent strat, and I would not suggest using it unless you really like doing it 100 times. So you're going to want to take Chop, Blistering Cold, and Bone Storm on your Bone Shard. Your Dragonling will need Breath, Decoy, and Thunderbolt. Really the big thing on the Dragonling is the Decoy. You may not even need his other abilities. And of course an Icky, Black Claw, and Flock. So you're going to want to start off with your Bone Shard and use Blistering Cold. And the next round, use Chop. Most likely after he uses Chop, he will die. So you're going to switch to your Dragonling, even if he's in his Undead round. And use Decoy here. You're going to switch out the next round with an Icky. And use Black Claw again. Followed up with Flock, obviously. If your Icky gets stunned, it shouldn't be a big deal. If he comes out of this round, you can switch back to your Dragonling or pass. Should be able to finish it off either way. The Golden Bot, XD, is the next on the route. So here you're going to want to pull out your Enchanted Pen, or whatever pet you're using with Forbidding Curse, and your Tinytron, who needs Fire Shield, Lightning Shield, and Flamethrower. You probably won't even need your 3rd slot. I just kind of threw an Icky in because that's what I had sitting there. So you're going to want to start out with your Enchanted Pen and use a Forbidding Curse. As soon as you get that Forbidding Curse out there, we're going to switch pets. We're going to bring in our Tinytron. With him, you're going to apply your Fire Shield and your Lightning Shield. Doesn't really matter which order you do it in, but get them both up there. And then if you still need another round, go ahead and use Flamethrower. Makes that guy look super easy. So the next short hop away is Creek Clink. We're going to use an Unborn Valkyr and 2 Ickies again for this guy. So we're going to start off with our Unborn Valkyr, use Curse of Doom, followed up with Haunt. If your Haunt misses, it's not a big deal. So you're going to want to bring in Icky here. Use Black Claw, followed up with a Flock. Probably won't even need the second Icky for this guy. Really easy. So Stutter Tube is the next one over here. And he was the world quest for this guy for this time around. We're going to use the Unborn Valkyr and the 2 Ickies again. If you have bandages hanging out, I'd bring them along if you're going to do them in this quick succession, because it doesn't take that long to do them. So obviously Unborn Valkyr, we're going to use Curse of Doom, followed up with Haunt, and this Haunt will most likely miss. Which is okay. So we're going to go ahead and use Shadow Shock. We can get a little damage off on him if we can. And we're going to bring in an Icky as soon as the Unborn Valkyr dies. I'm going to Black Claw and Flock. The big thing is to get the Flock debuff on him before the Curse of Doom goes off. So bring in your second Icky here. We're going to go ahead and Flock again. This one can be kind of close. So then we're going to head over to Unit 35. Again, we're going to use the Unborn Valkyr and 2 Ickies, or whatever pets you're using in substitute for Icky. I'm sure the Unborn Valkyr and Icky strat is getting really boring at this point, but it definitely works, and I don't have to change out pets 100 times. So Curse of Doom again, and then followed up with Haunt. We're going to bring Icky in. We're going to use a Black Claw, followed up with a Flock. Should make pretty quick work at this guy. Bring in the second pet here. Nope. Might not need the second pet. Curse of Doom almost did the job. So Flock, Savage Talon, whatever you want to do to get rid of that last little bit of that guy's health. And then we're going to head over to Unit 6, and he will be our last pet here. So again, we're going to heal up our Unborn Valkyr and our 2 Ickies, and we're going to use them again. So start out with our Unborn Valkyr, Curse of Doom. Followed up with Haunt. And then bring in one of the ickies. And we're going to Black Claw. And Flock again. Super easy there. So now I've got all of these quests, and I'm going to head back and turn them in, and we'll see just how much reputation they all give us. And again, don't forget to open up the Mechagon all the way, or the turn-in gnome just is not there, because that's definitely not what I did here. So we're going to go over there, and you get 75 per quest. Plus, if they're world quest, you get 75 more rep. I ended up with 1800 rep after opening all of the Rustbolt, which gave me 1200 rep. So the pets came in giving me only 600 rep. It may be the difference between a day. It is a decent chunk of reputation, but as far as knocking them all out at once, I think I'd wait to do them as they come up as world quests. Get a little bit of extra bonus from the world quest while I'm working on doing the daily quests during the week, because it's going to take you a couple days to do the reputation anyways. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit the thumbs up down below. Every little bit helps. The Nagiteur pet guide should be coming out in the next couple days too, so make sure to hit the subscribe button to get notification when it will come out. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, or come visit one of the live streams on twitch.tv/Rindar Gaming. And thanks again. Happy adventuring.